Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave, and today we've got a great treat. We are in the office with the Treasure Valley Dave Brain Trust, Treasure Valley Stephen,
Hello.
Treasure Valley Marine,
Hey.
and there's been so much going on in the market that we kind of wanted to see what's going on, what's been going on, what might be going on, and maybe what you can do to prepare for it. So let's just get right to it. Treasure Valley Stephen.
Yes, sir.
What have you seen happening from all these classes? And I see you've got a big chart up on the big screen.
Yeah, well, we went to a class that was talking about basically the historical numbers of what's been going on in the market. And the chart that I have on here, it's actually it's all the residential inventory every month from 2018, 19, 20, and then this year. So we really have some good kind of retroactive numbers here. And
so that yellow line, is that our current year?
the yellow line is 2021, so that's this year. So you can see, even though COVID numbers really, you can see it dive off there, we were still about 270 units short compared to last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2019, which is our last regular year, we were up at 1,717 units. So you can see where the inventory numbers, partly COVID related, but they're so low compared to what is kind of an average market. And even 2018 was less than 2019, but 1,463. So there's a lot of inventory that's just been completely taken out of the market. It's not come up for sale.
Now, speaking of inventory, did builders stop building because there's no demand? Is that why we don't have as many houses?
There's definitely not a lack of demand,
Okay.
but I think it's the supply of materials and people.
And then, of course, COVID and
Right.
people had to stay home.
Right.
Things.
Huge effect on the whole building market, which realistically, supply and demand, depending on how much economics people know, if there's less supply, there becomes more demand, and with more demand means the prices go up.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why we've seen as much price increase. Jumping month over month, even though COVID has calmed down, there's still such demand because the Treasure Valley is the Treasure Valley.
Ah.
It's very desirable. There's not a lot of houses on the market, so we're seeing huge swings in prices going up.
So, Maureen, what do you see on the new construction front as far as helping with the inventory situation?
On new construction, I think the biggest part of what had changed that in December of last year, that the builders had to switch to spec homes. And so those homes were not available right there at this moment. So usually you get your lot, you make your lot reservation, and then you can build your home in 6 to 12 months.
So what do you mean by spec homes?
Spec homes is a home where the builder chooses which house goes on which lot and what is going to be in the finishes, like a pre-existing home, just never
Never
occupied.
been lived in. Gotcha. Okay.
So with that, homes were not available for people to buy. It had to wait 6 months until they finally completed the construction. Unfortunately, we have clients who went through a lot of reservations and then getting a letter from the builder telling us, I'm sorry, we're not doing any custom homes anymore. So you have to wait until the home is built.
And what were some of the reasons for builders changing the way they do things?
Most of them were saying the shortage of supply. It's if you have your client and he wants to have this particular tile, but it's not available. It's just things were not available at that moment.
Treasure Valley, Stephen, I see the chart we're looking at is Ada County.
Mhm.
Can you compare that to Canyon County?
Yeah.
So we had 706 for inventory as of June.
So Canyon County, we crossed 2020's numbers. We're at 476.
That's substantially less than Ada County, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it's actually a little bit closer to normal. If 2019 was at 690, we're still right around 200 units less, but that's a little bit closer to normal.
So it looks like I don't know, proportionally that Canyon County's has more houses, you know, per capita, if you will.
Yeah.
So does that mean that builders are building more in Canyon County?
There's a lot of development in Canyon County.
And why would you think that little podunk Canyon County, why would people be attracted to that?
It's that balance of lifestyle, I think, is part of it.
Hmm.
People are still close enough to Boise that it's desirable to move to Canyon County, but it's at that lower price point. I think we were looking at numbers where we're about $150,000 less per house in Canyon County than it is in Ada County.
So to switch gears a little bit, I was just reading a story that a friend sent over about buyer fatigue. So buyers in various hot spots around the country are putting in offers and getting beat out, putting in offers and getting beat out. Steven, so I mean, you recently, well, not recently, but not too long ago, relocated here.
About a year ago.
Yeah, and as did Maureen. But so, in your experience, did you go through this buyer fatigue, or?
You know, I didn't as much. We found last summer, as I'm sure a lot of people, if you just look at the price differences year over year, last summer there was less intensity. Maybe that would be the way to describe it. Things have intensified. The number of offers that are coming in and how much over asking they're going for has really ramped up in the last year. But I know that I've had friends and family members, not just in Boise, but in other parts of the states, that they're just like, we put in 14 offers and we got beat out every time, and we're just you just get emotionally tired, feeling like you get connected to this house. You see the way you might be living in there, how the yard is just like this, and we would love that, and then you get beat out. And it's just a repetitive cycle that I could completely understand people just being like, forget it, we're going to wait, and who knows what's going to happen, but I just can't take the emotional roller coaster right now.
Now, did you and your family go through that?
We didn't go through it. We bought in December, which is usually where it's a little bit more quiet. But what I think is interesting, that the clients we work with, we never had this buyer's fatigue. I think it's being aware of the market, having somebody who's
like a good
realistic,
agent?
exactly, somebody who's going to be very realistic. This is what the market is going to look like.
So, and
you
that's
don't
what
have
we,
to get into
that's what we do, is that we try to educate our clients on what's really going on in the market, and to be clear on what they really need, because we've gone through it, and we see it every day with our clients, that we're really attuned to that, and we really try to bring you up to speed to make sure that your mindset's in the right place, and that you have all your other plans in place, so that when you go through the process, you're still going to be on the roller coaster, but you're going to be on the kiddie coaster. Wow, there's so much going on in the market too. So it's not just the cost of building supplies and supply chains. There's also, I saw recently where the city of Caldwell has put a moratorium on building permits for new subdivisions. And so it's a 6-month thing, and we're 2 months into it, and we're probably not really feeling it yet because there was already permits issued out there. But at some point, we're going to feel less houses being built in Caldwell, and the demand's still up there. So I'm thinking that we're going to have higher demand, or same demand and less supply. Prices are going to go up. In case you haven't seen that other video on this yet, we have most everybody up here in the Treasure Valley has 2 sources of water, one for the house, and then pressurized irrigation for all your outside needs. And the outside water gets turned on in this early spring and goes through the fall, depending on if it's been a drought year and how much water they still have in the reservoirs. And Caldwell is turning off their irrigation water early. So another thing that I saw in this press release from Caldwell is that they're saying, do not water your grass with your house water, because they're going to send, Karen over to beat you up about it. And 2, they're suggesting that people don't put any new landscaping like sod. So that means that, say you have a new house built, the builder can't put in the sod Okay, well, you know, that happens in the wintertime. And when that does happen, if you're getting a loan on the house, the lenders will have what they call an escrow holdback, which they're not gonna give all the money to the builder until the weather warms up and the builder comes out and puts the landscaping in and everybody signs off that, yeah, it's a good job. Then the builder gets the money. But that only happens in the wintertime. Lenders don't do escrow holdbacks during the summer. So if Caldwell says, we can't let you put the sod in, because if you do, it's gonna die because we're not gonna let you water it. So builders won't be able to close on houses. So builders won't close on houses. That mean they won't build houses? I don't know. This is just, like I said, I just saw this news, and let me ask you guys this. Even if the price of the house was exactly the same, the house is a little bit better once you get up here, but it's exactly the same price as what you had in California. The difference is we have the quality of life here.
Oh,
Is that
that's-
worth something?
oh,
Absolutely.
that is worse, more than anything else.
Yeah.
Really?
More than anything else. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
agree?
Absolutely. I think that again, like you just feel like it's a different ease of life here.
Right?
Is your yard, if everything is the same, yard, house, price, if it was the exact same, there's just a certain peace living up here that, I mean, I visit California, I've never lived there, but living in Washington and the busyness and the kind of the rat race, trying to get ahead, try to do this, try to keep up, it's not the same here. It really is not the same.
And I think one of the reasons is why it's not the same is because most of the people come from somewhere else, and we are all coming for the same reason.
True.
It's everybody is coming to look for this easiness, for a safe place, and as long as we all focus on that and keep doing this, and it's going to be that place.
So just to give you guys a little bit of those numbers, this was a market update, right? So I want to talk about the market in the snapshot through June of Ada County, Canyon County, and Special Treat Jim County. That's where Emmett is. So I'm looking at Jim County, and believe it or not, let's see, my average sold price for the last year, the last 12 months was 326. Steven, you have Canyon County, right?
Sure do.
What was your sold price?
So average sold price was $346.
346. So it's 20,000 more in Canyon than in up in Jim County.
And we got the winner.
What's the winner?
So Ada County, the average sold price was $495.
That's got to be a typo. You say 495?
495, yes.
That's like 150,000 more.
But we have in Ada County
Tell me.
24 houses over 2 million. How many do we
Oh.
have in Canyon?
Well, we have 0 over 2 million, but over 1 million, there's only 7.
Ooh, I have 237.
See, that's a huge difference. It's pulling that number higher.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
So that does skew things quite a bit.
So appreciation in the last 6 months, just the beginning of 2021, is 16.2% for Canyon.
16. Get the heck out.
It's incredible.
And Ada, hoity-toity county?
Hoity-toity County, 15.9.
Wow, so Canyon's the winner on this one.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Well, and I think that's partly because Canyon naturally has lower prices, and so the demand for those lower prices, people have been trying to buy more often, which brings up demand and price.
Right.
So though the prices still remain lower, the demand has been higher, so higher.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, and so I'm looking over here at the months of inventory in Jim County at like the sweet spot where most of the houses are selling, and I've got a half a month of inventory. And what that means is if no more houses came on the market, how long would it take for all the existing houses on the market to be sold? In Jim County, we're looking at, well, 2 weeks, half a month. So in your sweet spot in Canyon County, what are you looking at,
I'd say
Steve?
we're probably between half a month to 1 month, those two sections of the market. So
Gotcha.
2 weeks to 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yep, and that's the same for Ada. It's about 3 to 4 weeks.
That is such strong demand. Historically, in the real estate business, do you know what normal is? It's not 2 weeks, it's not 4 weeks, it's 6 months. So, yeah, this market is on fire. So yeah, this is some great information. And of course, if you guys want copies of what we call our market dynamics, we're more than happy to send those to you. If you're kind of a numbers person, like Maureen, just let us know. We'll be glad to send those over to you.
I do want to add one more thing, and it's at the moment right now. So from June, July, it has slowed down a little bit,
Really?
Especially in Ada County. It is not as crazy as it was here in up to May, that you have multiple offers and homes are going in less than 24 hours. On the perfect home, if it's the perfect home, it's still going to go very, very quick. But on some of the homes, I think you can actually sleep a night over it, over your decision.
Well, that's unusual.
And I think that's a good trend. I'm happy to see it, and it's going to be helpful for our future buyers.
So are we seeing the beginning of a crash?
I don't think there is an actual crash happening.
Okay. So if I'm Joe Blow, should I say, you know what, I'm just going to wait a few months, wait for prices to come down or crash, a soft crash, and then come and look for a house? Is that a good strategy?
Oh, maybe everybody is going to do that, and in October we're going to have the boom.
Maybe so. One thing I've seen lately is that some of the builders are giving incentives. They're not lowering their price, but they are giving, maybe $10,000-$15,000 in credits for irrigation systems or garage door openers or closing costs and things like that, which we hadn't seen earlier this year.
That's right. You can ask for a little bit more at this moment.
I wonder, because there for a while, up to May, the price of lumber just went off the charts. And I think builders maybe were putting their prices up to maybe be prepared for that, and then lumber's back down, and builders don't want to lower their prices because they finally got them up there, but they still want buyers to come in, and so maybe existing home sellers are seeing new construction say, hey, their prices are going through the roof. So yeah, maybe right smack dab right now is the best time to buy. Thank you guys so much for helping us out today and educating our clients and our new clients. And if you guys got anything out of this, please go ahead and share it with your friends and family. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And as always, it's Treasure Valley Dave, looking forward to helping you get home.